Once calls are made, it's time for lunch. On a good week, I will have 3 or 4 lunch meetings with people that either refer me business or people that I'm looking to meet to learn more about referring business to each other. It is important to stay in front of my sphere of influence, as this is how we generate so many warm referrals each month. If I don't have a scheduled lunch, I usually hop over to the Whole Foods, grab something from the hot bar. It's cost per pound, so I'll try to stay away from the heavy carb foods. I will eat at the Whole Foods, just take a break from the day. Mondays are pretty intense, as most people want to connect about what happened over the weekend. This is the day to get things done and is always the busiest day for me. I have time blocked from 3 to 5 for new client in-office meetings for new applications, smart starts. I always prefer face-to-face meetings over e-signed applications. I will go into the perfect application meeting soon. I will answer calls and reply to emails during the day as needed. However, my phone rolls to Brian to save me from reacting during the day. Brian handles all the calls and can pre-approve clients and answer general questions from past clients or current clients. My team will be illustrated here a little bit more in detail. I usually head home around 6. Lately, it's been about 5:30 or so, depending on the workload for the day. I feel accomplished and sometimes a bit worn out, as working at a high level does take some energy. And I think it's important to play at a high level every day, not just when the pipeline starts to dry out. Tuesday. We ready to go to Tuesday?
So, Michael.
Yep. And by the way, this is page 3 of 8, so we could go on all day, but I think it gives people an idea of how to document what that perfect day looks like, how you start it, right?
Stop.
Yep.
Question.
Yep.
How long did it take you to do this back 2 years ago? Because I remember
write it.
Yeah.
It took a few. I mean, yeah, it took a while. I mean, I worked on it for a while, probably. Yeah, for sure.
I think if I pull up mine, I think you were like, "Hey, let me see yours." And I remember spending a while writing mine.
Yeah.
Because I did this exercise with an attorney in like 2014, 15, when I was in that the alternative board tab program.
Yeah.
Guy's name was Dick Wallace. And he told me the whole thing. And we had to turn it in or we like got fined, Michael. So I had to
do wow.
it. And he was like,
hey, Michael, can you stop sharing your screen?
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that.
Dick was an attorney that ran a big firm, and he was just a no bullshit guy. Like if you showed up unprepared, he'd be like, so you know how like, who was I giving flack to? It was old Jeff, when Jeff was like doing deals on the call. But the difference was like the alternative board, we paid $1,500 a month, and he gave us homework assignments, and then we all met together. And then when you did your deep dive, if you weren't prepared, like it was pretty obvious because you didn't have all your shit together because you're showing all these other people your financials.
Yeah.
And like going through employee reviews and all this stuff that was like pretty serious, right? So if you weren't prepared, there was no like, think of it like chemistry lab. Like you can't cheat because if you don't know the deal, you can't solve the formula, and you sit there and stare at the teacher and go, "Hey, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry. I'm in front of the whole class." So that's why sometimes when I'm an asshole, I just feel like you guys you don't take yourself serious enough, and you don't do the work. You don't do the bucket work to make the money, and then you just want to dream about doing production and being a better loan officer.
Right.
So when you don't do the work, when it starts at 4:45 in the morning and Michael's like, here's how I prime my day, which Michael, we're very similar. I get up same time. Had a great workout this morning at 5 a.m. Like you motivate the living shit out of me because you're so dialed in to being a great LO. And I told you about those girls, their Wonder Twin powers. Yeah. They're like movers of people. They're great LOs if they want to be, but like you motivate me more than them because like you're right here with me all the time. I just love their energy and like how big they think.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. So I'm somewhere kind of like trapped in still wanting to be an LO with my edge and loving bigger visions.
Right.
But dude, the 8 pages of work, if any of you on the call want to do it, we'll send you the video of how to do it. Then you have to do it. You have to write it out. You have to go, how do I want to show up? I want to go around the horn and just see which thing Michael read. If each one of you could say one thing that resonated with you in what he read to us, that you're like, oh my God, I've completely lost that part of my dialed in, whatever he said, and you just kind of volunteer that as something you might need to work on. So we could start with Dustin. Was there something he said that resonated with you that you know you need to change?
Yeah, it was a good wake-up call, a good reminder that structure is so important. I was actually just telling my 16-year-old, she's trying to figure out where she wants to commit for college, and I told her, I said, you've got to actually write out your goals and follow them. My best year ever was the one year that I didn't just check the box and set up my goals of, hey, here's what my production is going to look like. I literally, to the day, to the week, and I literally took the notes daily, weekly, monthly, etc. Break it down, because that's the only way you're going to get to where you want to actually be. You can't just let it happen and be like, oh, good, I had a good year again. If you really want to maximize it, you've got to put in the structure. You've got to put in, the accountability, the self-accountability. And I think accountability partners, and that, that's a sidebar. I'm not going to go off on a tangent here, but having accountability partners, but also having self-accountability is so critical. So just the structure piece, that reminder was awesome.
Got it. Great share.
And by the way,
go ahead.
Mine's 2 years old. It just reminds me that I need to go back in and tweak it, right? Because things change, right? So but reading it, it's your roadmap for how you want to show up every day, and so it's cool.
Yeah, it's got to be motivating to know that there's tweaks, and maybe that's an assignment for you, Michael.
Yeah,
I need to pull mine up. Mine isn't too far off, but I'm probably at about 50% of where it was. Whereas when I was dialed into it, I was about at 80%.
Yeah.
April, I'm just looking down the names. Next person go on what resonated to them on what Michael said. And by resonated, I mean like, you need to get better at it yourself.
I think for me, it's after the meeting with your LOAs or what have you, returning looking at the voicemails and emails. And then the main thing for me is that time blocking and just sticking to it.
Calling realtors on Mondays kind of thing, or Tuesdays,
yes.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good awareness. Next.
This is Natalie. I think for me, time blocking was a huge thing, and structure, and setting up your day by day so that you can follow your schedule, so that you're not off in tangents trying to do other things and getting sidetracked to what you should be focusing during that time.
Nice. Just a committed schedule.
I'll go next. I think, time blocking is something I certainly need to work on. And what Michael said is he has all of his emails and communication devices transferred to somebody else, so he's not prone to pick that phone up when it rings or answer that email when it comes through. I'm, hyper responsive. So that's something that I certainly need to do so I can focus a little bit more. And thanks for pointing it out, Mike.
Sure. I need to get back to that too.
I will add, if I could get up at 6 every day and move and be active and work out, life would be a whole lot different, a whole lot better. Forget 4:30, 6 would make me ecstatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who controls that?
100% on me.
There you go. You said if.
It's just a habit, right? Like I started getting up that early just because my kids were in sports and I couldn't do anything after work because I had baseball practice or I coached or helped them. Nothing gets in the way at 5 a.m. except the alarm clock, right? That's it. So if you can get through it for a month, you do something for 30 days, that's where a habit is formed. So it's that first month is the hardest, obviously, but once you get beyond that first 30 days, it becomes easier. Now I'm starting to doze at 9:45 p.m. My wife makes fun of me all the time, like, oh my God, you're sleeping at 10? I'm like, well, yeah, got up at 5. So I did more, in that morning before she got up.
Michael, on page 8, wasn't it the make love paragraph? You got real detailed on that with your relationship.
I edited that out.
I remember
for my wife's
you
sake.
read that to me and Dino, and we loved it, and we added it to ours.
That was an ad lib, yeah.
Sorry.
Brendan couldn't help himself.
I couldn't help myself. Next, Differ. What did Michael say that resonated with you?
Yeah, for me, it was the first line, wake up at 4:45 and then explaining the endorphins after the workout. It's so apparent to me that almost every successful person I know has a really dialed in first hour, 2 hours of the day. Yeah. So that's something I struggle with or have been.
By the way, but you're 27, 28.
28.
It doesn't get any easier, my friend.
Yeah.
Just going to rip that Band-Aid off now.
I didn't start it until I was, I think, 39. So if you start now, you're way ahead of me.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good awareness.
I hate to sound like a broken record, but same deal. I think it's a lot. I mean, what really resonated with me is the fact that Michael's not running such a really strict schedule once he gets to work. It's like literally the second is long years off. And I think it's I don't want to say easier, but I think it's much more manageable to have like really a strict and managed schedule when it starts from like the beginning of your day, as opposed to just I'm going to manage my life once I show up to work. So that resonates with me. And then at the same time too, like there was a point in my life where, I was up at 5:15 at the gym at 6 every day. And I want to get back there. So, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
Who else?
See who else we got on here.
We got Callahan, Ed, John,
Grant,
Matthew, Grant, and Benton, and myself. Bunch of passive participants. This is how you show up on the free Friday sales call, is how you show up other places. So just understand that I mark you passive listener. Zero energy.
Yeah, I'm really sorry I can't talk. I'm in the trenches over here. Mike can explain.
Yeah.
That's fine, John. That's cool. So my feedback immediately, Michael, was dress for success. So irony, I have become way too casual.
And I have become a little bit more casual since COVID too. I gotta be careful though.
So true story. We had a corporate event at Mapco Corporate. They've got 3,500 employees. I did the loan for their head of HR 18 months ago. Circled back with her, Michael, on a text. Hey, let's do your Pathways real estate call. She says, oh my God, I was just thinking about you. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, we're doing a employee day. Can we jump on a call? So we ended up over at Mapco Corporate for 3 hours, teaching 3 different classes, picking up 4 or 5 prospects. We've already got 1 Smart Start scheduled. And the morning that I showed up to pick up Benton and McCain, I had my suit on. They looked at me like, wait, who is this guy? True story, Benton, Andy, Grant. I had 10 suits back in the day.
Wow.
10. And I had about 15 pairs of shoes, all with shoe trees. Most of my shirts required cufflinks, and I had about 30 ties.
Yep.
I pretty much was suit and tie every day, with the exception of possibly Friday. But the funny thing was, remember that casual Friday thing from it's Ed. It's the casual Friday clip from
Enthusiasm.
Yeah. Where he's like, wait, yippee-ki-yay. What is this? Are you going to treat me casually? And by the way, Troy Nunn sent me that, Michael, in like 2000 when it came out, because I would show up sometimes to meetings with him casual. And that was back when he was building his Northwestern Mutual office, which they wore suits on Saturday.
Yeah.
So the funny thing, you resonated all the way back down to the mindset of dressing for success, because if opportunities happen during the day and you're dressed for success, you're more apt. And I would always say that better to be overdressed than underdressed.
Yep.
And, all these influencers want to wear black jeans, black shirt, stupid flat black hat, flat rim hats. They all look the same. I can't stand them. Maybe they are super successful. I don't want to hang out with them.
Right.
Yeah. It's the jeans with blazer with t-shirt and sneakers. That's
here's the thing. The world has gotten more casual, but I think if you meet with if our targets during the day are realtors, financial planners, and people that can refer us clients, I'm not saying it has to be suit and tie, because I don't wear a suit and tie anymore. But a nice blazer, a nice blouse, something nice. Like, I just think when we look like we're getting ready to go to a professional event or a professional cocktail party, it goes back to like you're taking yourself more serious. Whatever you said, Michael, was like, hey, if I dress the part, I'm mentally preparing myself for success. Yeah. And I think that there's plenty of days that the day I just put the dirt, the cotton khakis, I look over and I get a golf shirt. Hell, I might have been wearing it the night before, and I put on a pair of sneakers, and I'm like, I don't have any appointments today. Well, there's a reason, because I probably dressed that way 2 weeks earlier on days and didn't take myself seriously. So this is just, by the way, this is no, Benton, you kind of said whatever, and I picked on somebody wearing jeans. It doesn't really matter about what people wear. It matters about what I mentally prepare myself for.
Yep.
So that's where we've gotten too casual. We have a message in the chat here from Ed. Should I read it?
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
He said, time blocking is something I need to do better. I enjoy that when you start each day with a workout, you're embracing and attacking a quote challenge. That sets your mindset for the rest of the day. When other challenges present themselves later in the day, the default expectation is to overcome that obstacle.
There you go.
Very good.
Good mindset there, Ed.
Yeah, real good.
Anybody else? We've got a couple minutes to share what Michael said that resonated with you that you know you need to change. McCain.
I think mine was time blocking, because I have it on my calendar. I put in, 3 to 4 call realtors non-negotiable, but actually sticking to it and taking the time, or not getting interrupted, saying I'm not going to do that until.
That's the hardest part. And that's my McCain, that's my biggest challenge. I struggle with that all the time.
McCain,
I have it as like non-negotiable on the calendar.
What did I tell
you? Oh, I got to do this.
What did I tell you the other day about this?
Yeah, you said do it in the morning. I think that could work, but there's too much other stuff in the morning that I got to get done. So I like my 3 to 4.
All right, don't listen to me.
Hey, you know what I would say? The things that are hardest and the things that you like to do the least, I say do them earlier, get them out of the way, because you'll feel a lot better. It's like making that call to the customer with bad news. Like, don't wait until 5 p.m. to do it. Do it at 9:05 a.m. Get it out of the way. You'll feel a lot better for the rest of the day. but I would challenge everybody to write their manifesto. This is a Monday through Friday, like from the moment you wake up till till you drive home, essentially, right? What do you do every day? And I think it'll open up your eyes too, to say, wow, I don't really have a lot of structure, or hey, I don't have a plan. Maybe
Michael,
that's
could you email yours as a PDF to Benton and he could share it?
yeah.
I'm going to dig up mine. I think
Yeah.
everybody needs to write theirs, and I think that in the end, Michael's giving you some advice, McCain, on get the nastier things done early. My thought is you're young. People wake up early, and you want to bond with people that are like going and doing things. So why you couldn't make realtor calls from 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Last I checked, you're not married. Check. You don't have kids. Check. You don't have a dog or a cat or any type of animal to take care of. Check.
He just has 5 loan officers to take care of.
Yeah, no.
Good for Brendan.
X, he does not. He has 2. Check. Your boss is telling you to do it. Check. And realtors are much more receptive to talking to you from 7:30 to 8:30 and hearing your voicemail and actually listening to it than 4 o'clock. Hey, Betty, this is McCain. It's 3:50. It's Thursday afternoon. I was just checking in. I've been beat up all day on 6 loans and I was just trying to keep my energy up. I wanted to leave you a voicemail. Meanwhile, she's picking up her kids in the pickup line at school, and her husband called and said, "Hey, we've got to be at a dinner tonight at 6." Your voicemail gets listened to the next day. Right. Just more shit happens in the morning with business sources than the afternoon. You're a dummy if you think that 3 to 4 is a good time block to call your realtors. By the way, see that, guys? That's leadership harassment, just in case any of you are wondering.
Yeah.
I told you this, and then you didn't listen. So Michael's telling you. Maybe one more successful LO needs to tell you when to make the calls to realtors. Because, by the way, you're a junior. You're working with us, and we want you to go get leads. You're going to get more relationships started in the morning than you are in the afternoon. Amen. Anybody else want to have one more little Michael motivator, and then we're done? Benton, what about you? You're listening.
Yeah. Well, it's just the waking up earlier thing for me.
What time do you wake up?
Hasn't been said. I usually wake up at like 7:50. But I start work at 9, and then I work out after work, so it's different. But I do work out every day. So
yes, you're getting married. He's very motivated. He wants to look good at his wedding.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's funny, if that resonates with you, like timing and everything, you could always spice up your life. You're engaged, and then we'll go through your checklist. No kids, no pet, very few responsibilities.
Yeah.
So the more, if Michael's regimen appeals to you and that earlier morning sounds good, then, start making some changes and see what that does for you.
Yeah, I think that the idea of having an earlier morning will be more palatable when I'm coming home to somebody that matters much more to me than just like my 2 roommates,
There you go.
True.
So note to all of you, notice how, Benton is our marketing manager and he isn't a sales guy in training. So you see how nice I am to him with the feedback? But see, with McCain, I kind of punched him in the nose because McCain played football. He was the quarterback of his high school football team. And I'm noticing that he wants to get somewhere. He wants to do this. He wants to be a loan officer. So I'm putting nails in his cereal bowl. And with Benton's, I'm putting like little soft rose petals.
Yeah, Benton's not ambitious.
No. You're ambitious, but in a different way. You're wired different.
Yeah.
Yeah. But which, by the way, every now and again, I get mad at you too. And when I'm mad at you.
Mm-hmm.
This is called transparent leadership, people. If your people don't know how you feel about them, both good and bad, you're kind of a fake leader.
True.
Yeah. So, guys, today, in summary, Michael read his manifesto, about a third of it. Thank you, Michael. And I think that the funny thing is, rewinding all the way to the top, we were going through LO kind of basics, like the top line of what each LO should have to be successful. And that far right box is mindset. And I think we could literally do a 2-day deep dive with all of us at some point and say, to hell with ideas, just for 2 straight days on a Thursday and a Friday. Let's really define our mission, our vision, our manifesto, and really write out what does this look like when it's perfect, and share that with someone. And then Dustin had a great thing. He had his best year when he had an accountability person.
Mm-hmm.
He was being held accountable somehow. And I think he might have left, but I want to thank him for sharing that, because accountability works.
I would never leave you, man.
Oh, thank you, sir. So I
He's
think,
here.
so Benton, I think what we should do is send out Michael's manifesto, send out a clip, send out the hyperlink to the Ultimate Business Partner website, where Dino and I tell the story of how to come up with your manifesto, and we have the kind of the ABC. And I think I'm going to dig up mine. I need to, and offer that as well, to hold myself accountable to it. And I think each guy in the office should do it. And anybody on this call, we're giving you the groundwork. True story. There's some mortgage trainer out there that wants to charge $5,000 to get you to a hotel over a weekend, to give you a bunch of marketing ideas, and you come back on Monday with a rah-rah, yeah. But if you don't actually do this stuff, which is write out what's actually important to you, then all the other stuff just is it's not, it can be a boost, but then if you don't actually do it, then it's deflating. So this is free. So if you want this is a gazillion-dollar nugget if you do it. And I think it's all there for you guys to implement if you want.
Absolutely. Cool.
Michael, I don't know what we're going to talk about 2 weeks from now, but we'll come up with it within a week, and we'll send some stuff out. And our new AI summary will give us the download of this meeting, hopefully. Right, Benton?
Yeah, it's in here. So we'll see what it says. That's
pretty cool. Delete the part where I talked about Michael on chapter 8 of his manifesto.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
I have 2 minutes to stay on, because Benton made me a promise in the email he sent, and we didn't cover it.
Yeah, we sent out the itinerary and then just blew past it.
Oh, the itinerary.
I have a 2-minute question about how you guys are handling the fee up front, because I want to start disclosing it, but I want to make sure we don't screw that up. I have a new assistant, and make sure we.
What's the question? Let's try to answer it.
Oh, sure. So, for example, my niche is mostly VA, and I'm wondering, is that something that I have no problem, with? Hey, this is what it is. In fact, instead of the $495, I was going to tell people that we're going to put an $800 hold on their credit card, because eventually they're going to have to do that for their appraisal anyway. Yeah. But I'm not sure. In fact, I don't think we can disclose it like that, because we can't collect the appraisal fee until after they e-sign the disclosures.
Yeah.
Do you guys collect a fee before disclosures, or how are you doing that?
So this is exactly how we do it. If we say, hey, would you like to get pre-commitment, underwritten up front, we call it third base. That way we can close within, 12 business days. That gets you the closest to scoring to home base. And then they're like, well, sure. Yeah. What do we do? So then we create actual disclosures. We submit those disclosures and they get approved, and then they get sent out. And the client, when they sign the disclosures, it's all TBD. Encompass and your email updates you that, Michael Anthony has signed the disclosures. And then our team, we send the credit card processing link for them to be charged. The way we disclose it is a $495 application fee, and then we reduce our branch fee that accordingly, like the actual underwriting or however it's disclosed on the LE. So we then, instead of charging $17.95, that's our fee that covers everything. We do the $4.95, and then the remaining fee is $13.95. Is that right? Or is it $12.95? I don't know what the number is, but they're split. I got the email from Jimmy Fitch the other day about VAs. I don't know what we're doing on VAs. We're probably about a 1 in 20 loan count VA. So I actually have a guy.
If you're not comfortable with them, you can just refer them over. It's fine.
No. We're comfortable. I think it's more just. What does if they sign the intent to proceed, which are actual disclosures, can you collect a fee on VA versus conventional?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you can. Here's why.
Yeah, you can. I just wasn't sure if that's how you guys were doing it or not.
Yeah, I think let's double check that to make sure, but that's how we do it. And yeah, I mean, the appraisal hold, I still don't think is to me, that's kind of like, I'd rather tell someone, listen, we're spending our resources in underwriting and full processing. Like, we're not just faking this. So this is costing our company, and we're willing to do that, knowing that it'll help you get what you want, Mr. Veteran. And in order to do that, here's what it is. Here's how it works. And yes, if you don't buy a home in a year, it expires. And yes, if you go somewhere else for whatever reason, which I hope you wouldn't, that's not a refundable fee. And I think if you
and that's my,
yeah.
Sorry,
go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt you. That's my internal question is, are we sticking by that? Are we holding that? Like, if they do bounce, we are keeping that fee, right? We're not refunding it because we're calling it an application fee. If
Right.
I set it up as an appraisal fee, I have to refund it. So I want to keep it as an application fee. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I had the question on, and first, do we have to label it as an application fee, or can we label it as an underwriting fee? Because that's where they're going. They're going to the state of underwriting. So I think it'd be more powerful to label it underwriting fee, and then it's just credited towards the full underwriting fee. My second question is, if they do walk and we do keep that fee, where does that money go?
Oh, Andy has a new comp plan. It goes right in his pocket.
Yeah.
Goes to the branch to cover overhead.
It goes to the branch to cover the $135 credit report fee, the $80 in VOEs on that file, and the processor's salary that on the 2 hours they worked on it, and the LOA salary. I mean, here's the thing. When we have a problem of too many application fees not going through,
I agree.
What we're doing is we shouldn't have that problem. Gloracell's had zero walk from her. Zero.
I've had zero.
So my issue is, let's cross that bridge when we get to it. But the reality is as a loan officer, Natalie, this is your win. This is your, hey, it came on my lead tracker. I made contact. They came in for the Smart Start. They committed to me and they paid a fee. Now I turn that green. I turn it green, and I know I'm going to get paid. And as long as I do what I'm supposed to do,
right?
Michael Anthony, Tuesday status update, stay in the pipeline, call them, motivate them, whatever, help them with their offer. Like, that's where you're going to win. I think if we're losing these, it's because we're like playing the game of like, get the money, and we're not doing like, we turned into a salesperson about the money versus a consultant about, the fee. Go ahead.
You won't lose these. And also too, another note, Dustin, I think the reason why I think it's even more important to collect these on a VA and an FHA in a normal market where it's a little bit more activity, like we had a year and a half ago, VA offers and FHA offers have zero chance of getting accepted. Now there is a chance, right? Because there's less activity. So my pitch is this: look, if we're going in with a VA or 100% FHA Essex deal, you already have a knock against you. They don't really want to accept those. However, if I can explain that your financing is 100% complete and I'm going to issue a commitment letter, well, that takes away that uncertainty that the seller or the listing agent has because you're an FHA or VA buyer. Now, I don't think it's right, for them to have that connotation or that perception, but perception is reality. So
Oh, absolutely. That's
even,
how I've been building my network with listing agents. Is I'm calling them and talking about our conditional approvals and how, hey, we get appraisal back, we're closing 3 to 4 business days later. So we're not just winning offers, but I go into how great I am in Mutual of Omaha with the listing agent, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, can I send you a deal? And it's like, I guess, okay.
yeah, I think we're accepting new applications. Yeah, we have more money to lend. I don't think we're out yet.
Exactly.
Right.
Disclosure wise,
Awesome.
we
Well,
can
thank
label
you,
it
guys.
as underwriting though.
That's maybe Chris Layden can answer that. It's called application fee, I think, but I don't care what it's called. It's $495, and I explain what it is. And when they get it in the disclosure, I've never had somebody say, "Well, what's the wording on this?" You know what I mean? I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea to call it an underwriting fee versus application fee, but there may be some legal reason it's called that. I don't know. But you can, if you want to ask Chris about it, you feel free. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, guys. Well, next time, apparently we teased about financial planners. Maybe Michael, next time we'll scroll down to the second row of the roadmap to success and talk about, other business people, mainly financial planners.
Good idea. I like that. Cool.
Okay. All right, guys. See you in 2 weeks. Thanks for attending. We'll have an AI update at the end. Maybe Benton can get it out today.
Awesome.
All right.
All right.
See everybody. Have a great weekend.
See ya.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Later.